Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our webinar. It's Tips, Tricks, and Hidden Treasures in ADISRA SmartView. I am thrilled that you are able to join us today. Whether you are new to ADISRA SmartView or have been using it for years, today's session is designed to help you discover hidden features, time-saving shortcuts, and best practices that can make your development process easier and more efficient. We will explore some common questions we received to help you get the most out of ADISRA SmartView. We want this webinar to be valuable to you as possible. So please don't hesitate to submit your questions in the Q&A tab. We will do our best to answer them during the session. And if we don't get to your question, we'll make sure to include it along with the answers in a follow-up email to all attendees after the webinar. Before we dive in, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Marcia Gabois, and I will be your moderator today. I am the general manager of ADISRA. A little bit about my background. Prior to joining ADISRA, I was the president of Indusoft, which was later acquired by Invencis. Throughout my career, I have held a variety of senior management roles in business development, strategy, competitive intelligence, marketing, and sales. Over the past 34 years in the software industry, I have worked across diverse technology areas, including artificial intelligence, operating systems, rapid application development tools, databases, middleware, industrial automation. I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in Management Information System and Computer Science from Bowling Green State University and an executive MBA from the University of New Hampshire. I would now like to introduce today's presenter. Leandro Colli is our Vice President of Customer Application and Services at ADISRA. Leandro has over 20 years of experience in industrial automation with a deep technical background in HMI and SCADA applications, database, web integration, and industrial communications. Before joining ADISRA, Leandro was the owner and partner of Phi Systems, an industrial automation system integration company that delivered projects across industries such as oil and gas, energy, water and wastewater, agriculture, and machine building. Earlier in his career, he also worked at Indusoft as an engineer, gaining extensive experience in project development and customer support. Leandro holds a degree in computer engineering from the Federal University of São Carlos in São Carlos, Brazil. I am delighted to have him here today to share some powerful insights and practical demonstrations that can help you make the most of ADISRA SmartView. Remember to put your questions in the Q&A tab. We will get to as many as we can. With that, let's get started. Leandro, I'll turn it over to you. Leandro?
Okay. Hello, everyone. So let me start, just share my screen, all right. So can you see my screen, right?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. So I'm gonna start showing something that is usually asked in our support. I'm gonna start talking about the train. We recently released a new train object. So this is our new train object, and also I have in the same application the old train object. You can check what is, if you have this with the yellow bar here is the old one. So we highly recommend you to upgrade the old applications to the new train. How you can do it is if you have this train here, you can select it, and the bottom of the Windows property, you have the option to convert to the new train. So just click that button, and so you can convert the train to the new one. Okay. So I'm gonna show you some difference. We improved a lot of the performance. It's pretty much quicker, and also on this new trend, we insert a lot of new functionalities. So I'm gonna show you some of them. One is to lock the y-axis. So if you lock this and you change the train position, for example, even if you move up and down the mouse, you can lock the y-axis. So now it's unlocked. One feature. Also, we insert the tooltip. So the tooltip is if you put the mouse over a point that you have in the train. For example, you check the value and the timestamp and the name of the tag, for example, right? Here, if you pause, so you can check the points, right? The, another new feature. Also, we insert here a button to export to the CSV what is in the train. For example, I'm gonna get like the 30 minutes, for example, here, and I can export it. We export to this file, for example, save. I'm gonna replace it. So if I load the CSV here, you can check now all the values that I loaded, that I saved from the train in a CSV file. I'm not opening it here, but you can open also on an Excel application or Notepad, for example, right? This is one of the new features. Also, we have this filtered last 30 seconds, 30 minutes, that it makes it easier to filter some range time. We also insert this save screenshot option. For example, I'm gonna just change some features here. Simple, 30 minutes. And if I save this in screenshot, webinar, I save it here. So let's load that image. Webinar, this one. So you also can save this as an image, all right? Another nice feature that we have is to save the configuration. For example, I can change something here, put 30 minutes, or put not 2, 3 minutes, something like that. I'm gonna insert a description for this tag, for example, temperature, and I will remove a tag from here. Now we only have 3 tags, and I will lock the axis, insert the tooltip, for example, and then I'm gonna save the configuration. How you can do it? We have this save config. I just passed as parameter the project path and the JSON that I'm using, that I want to save this information. So I save the configuration, and for example, if I loaded the trend again, it loads it with the default, but also I can load the config. So now we have the duration, just 3 pens, and everything that I changed on the trend. When you reopen and reload the configuration, uh, makes easier for the operator when he changes something that he just wants to load, or you also can save multiple configurations and then load what you want. So it makes more flexible, right? We also inserted some new functions to the train. For example, let's just show you to just on a script get the train's name. So you have a lot of functions here. You also have a function to export to the CSV. You have the button on the object, but you can remove that button and use the export in another script if you want. And also we now insert some new like get cursor datetime, get cursor value, and some other new functions. And also, if you want to check the new functions, if you select the train and so you have the functions for the train, for example, train object, all the functions you have it here. For example, the export to CSV. You have the example here, how to use the path and all the parameters that you need to create the CSV file. So we have this on the help. All right, and so this is to get the cursor. Another one is to the cursor value and the cursor date time. So here, if I click it here, for example, if I change the cursor, I get the new date time, and also I can get a value from a tag. I'm getting from the f value 01. So this is the value that I get from the cursor. Okay. This is basically the new functions that we have on the train. All right. Also, now I'm going to talk about the alarm. We recently we implemented a new type of alarm that is called enumeration. So how it works? You can create multiple values. It could be hexadecimal or integer. So you can create a list, and for each value, you have a message, a priority, the state if it's a normal or active, and the type that you can write whatever you want for the type. And then create, for example, I created as an error codes, right? So if you create, you can create multiple enumerations like this. And let me show in a tag. This tag here, I enable the enumeration and all I just have one, but if you have multiple enumeration configured there, you can see it here. And I'm save the history. And I insert this tag here on the online and the history alarm object. So the value is 0, it's normal, the message normal. If I put on 1, now it's active. Now you can see temperature above normal, temperature high. For we don't have it, so 0 again. So this is the enumeration, how it works. And we also created some new functions for the alarm. And let me show you here. To export to a CSV, the same as we have for the train. So here, if I export to the CSV, I'm going to export the online one. And here, if I click it here, I'm going to export the history one. I'm going to share also this application after the here, but let's open here. Now you can see the alarm online. So this one and the history, it's here, right? You have the 4 columns that we have here. So this makes it easier to export data to Excel or CSV files, right? Um, Another thing that is interesting to talk about is related to the drivers. It's just a tip, but for example, I have this driver, the Micro 800 PLC, Allen Bradley. This is the IP. This is the worksheet that I have. I can now it was reorganized. So now you can create the connection, the channel, connection channel that is, for example, for a PLC or a device. And under this channel, you can create multiple worksheets. I have this worksheet, and in this case, I have import tags. For some drivers, we have this option. So I'm going to show you all the tags that we have in the the PLC. But for example, here you have like an array with 9 positions or something like this. And if I configure in this way, I'm reading all the 9 positions from the array and send it to an array, internal array, that is our tags, right? So one tip is when you are using arrays or blocks or something that have a high amount of data, we don't recommend use on tag change for the writing, uh, because if you change like one value, it's going to write all the structure. If you're doing this like not so often, it's okay. But if you're using, for example, a for command, for example, on the startup, you can create a for that goes from 0 to 9, for example. Not the correct thing. Just create the right one. Um, mm, mm, mm. You could do something like this. Set this array. For example, if you're putting 0 in all the positions, each time that you write a value in one position of this array, for example, you are going to write the whole structure uh, on the device. So we recommend or to disable the communication when you are doing this, and then enable again and do the trigger, or disable the tag change and just use the trigger and trigger when it's finished. Because if you are doing this, you are going to write, like, for example, 9 times the whole structure on the PLC, and the performance is not going to be so good. So this is one tip that I would like to mention that is highly asked in our technical support, right? Now the next question, let's talk about the remote management tool, right? We have this remote management tool here. So this is the how you can see it. Just one moment. I'm going to stop this application and open uh, other one just to show you the remote management tool better. for example, I have a remote PC running Linux, and this is our default port for the remote management tool. So I'm gonna connect it. Now you can see that I have a Ubuntu, Unix platform. This is SmartView version that is installed there. And here I have a project. You can check that is running there already. I can stop and run it here. I can also upload the application. You have like the local application in our computer, and then in the target, the folders on the Linux machine. It also could be another Windows machine. It's not only for Linux. It works for both. And you also can send single files, or you just choose the target and send single files. And also you can select, for example, graphics to save the web pages on the remote runtime. And also you can download from the remote PC the project or files. You also can license it remotely. And also we have the logs and the redundancy that you can be configured remotely. The logs, for example, I'm gonna active the logs, for example, and now, for example, driver. So you can see that the driver are communicating with the PLC. It's all running on the Linux machine. Okay, let's just. So you can see that you can stop and run and send web pages there. So let's just show you this Linux machine. So you can see here that that's running, right? Here is the logs, the files, and everything else. So as you can see, we can remote remotely manage the application, right? And also let's show you, for example, a remote viewer. So I'm gonna use the same IP, 1, 2, five. Text the connection, okay. This is the our demo that is running on the Linux. So you can also run the remote viewer, right? So this is on the Linux, all right? We also can access from the web browser as well. So you can see the running. For example, I have this. Oh, it's not the HTML was not created on the Linux yet, for example. So if I get the remote management tool, let's select that graph. That is the wind turbine. Okay. If I click save HTML, it's saving the HTML and send to the folder that contains the web on the Linux machine. Just a moment to send all the files and the image. Now you can see wind turbine. here now on the generate. If you go to the web browser now and click it here, now you can see that we already have the uh, this HTML running. Just to show you how it's easier to deploy web pages on the Linux or in remote applications as okay. So another thing that is interesting. Also we have the data watcher. So it could be connected also remotely. So let's connect this to the, let's, I'm gonna load some tags. So you can see here a tag communicating with Modbus driver. This is communicated with a Siemens driver and Allen Bradley PLCs and Modbus. These are the four tags that I configured here. Just show you some of them. This is for the Micro 800 PLC. This is to a compact logic PLC. And also we have a Siemens S7 1200 and a Modbus. So you can check this that I communicating. Example. This is also easy to debug remotely the application, right? Another thing that is interesting to talk about. All right. Let's just close this one. I reopen that another application to show the webinar. Running again locally. Oh, sorry. Here, for example, I'm running the local viewer, but I can, for example, run a remote viewer to access that application as well. So here, the IP. One thing that we improved a lot in this on this new version was the custom resolution. So, for example, that application was developing using this resolution, but now, for example, I want to run the viewer in a higher resolution. For example, in a full screen mode, that the resolution that I have in my PC. And now let's run it here. Now you can see that the remote application I'm using uh, this auto screen scale. So with this one, you can see that all the objects were redimensioned for the new resolution, right? So you can see I have the remote viewer and the local viewer running the same time. This is the local and this is the remote one. And also, if you like to viewers, that's disconnected, and reconnect with another resolution. For example, let's use a resolution that is not the same aspect ratio, for example. Let's get how it's going to work, but it's going to see the redimension for the new resolution. Okay, so this was also a nice improvement that we made in our product in this version. Okay, so run this again. one thing that I want to mention is how to configure web or the viewer or the remote management tool uh, external from the local network or the VPN. For example, I have a router in our office that we have this IP. This is our internal IP for the router. Okay. And also I have the Linux machine running with this IP, 39. Okay. And the ports that we use by default in SmartView is 9003 for the web, 9002 for the viewer and the data washer, and 9004 for the remote management tool. These are configured, but this I'm just showing you the default. And also you have the 80 port, for example, for the EIS or for the Apache, for example, that is the web servers. So what I need to do is create on the router to redirect the ports. For example, here I'm redirecting what comes from the 9002 port to the 9002 port on this IP. That is the Linux machine. Uh, in this case, I'm redirecting getting the 3010 port to the 80 port and to the 9003 to the 9003 and 9004 to the 9004 port. Okay. With that, for example, let's just get this, just configure. Just updating the ports on the exchange.
In the meantime, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to put it in the chat and we will answer them.
All right. I just updated yeah, these are the parts on our switch. Okay. Just redirect the parts. So now we can test it here. So for example, if I put the external IP with the port that I just configured for the 80 and the folder, now we can see that now I'm connecting outside from the local network in an external. All right, and for example, let's show you something. I also created another screen. This one. This, for example, I'm gonna put on the chat. Now, for example, if you guys clicking on this link, you probably are going to access the same screen that I'm showing you here over the web browser. It worked? Okay, Vincent, nice. So For example, I have the remote management tool, and can, for example, get the logs. So it shows, it can show you when people are connecting the remote viewer or something like that as well. Okay. So this is how you can configure an application to run outside from the network. Okay. Now another interesting thing, I'm gonna connect my cell phone just to, I'm connecting to the Zoom.
I apologize. I didn't see that you needed to be admitted.
No problem.
I just got,
Now let me share my cell phone screen. Marcia, I'm not able to share my screen on this.
okay. Let me see if I'm doing, it says multi, it says it's open to share. I don't know why. Um, hmm, uh, let me see. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Can you do it now, Leandra?
No, not
Hmm.
yet.
Trying to figure out why I can't get it to work.
Let me reconnect it again. This one. Let me connect.
It wouldn't be a demo without having some issues. So give us a minute and we'll get it worked out.
Can you allow me?
Yep, I let you in now.
Oh, now
Is it working now?
yes.
Okay, perfect.
So now you can see my screen, right? And all right. Okay. As you can see, I'm connecting using the 4G, and this is the IP and the remote IP. So here is how, for example, use a remote application using the Android application, for example, to access over the internet an application running on a Linux machine, for example. You also uh, just put another example. F0. Okay, this was not created yet. The other one, FDR, here this is the screen that I just showed you here. And let just a moment to start another
Let me ask you while you are looking.
email.
It says, someone asked the question, how do we limit, restrict who can connect remotely?
Okay. If you are using if you mean from outside from the network,
I believe that's the question.
yeah,
Yes, remotely.
yeah, remotely. For example, let's just show you here. Like if you have the router, for example, if I have for example this port, you can set, for example, the IPs that are allowed to access from outside, for example.
And
So
then
it's
there's
a way to do it. Okay.
and then there's another question that someone said they must have missed something when you started up. But how do you get this .app? Seems not available on the Google store. So how do you get the .app?
Um,
Did you understand the question, Leandro?
yes, just a moment.
I thought it was on the Google store. Am I incorrect?
Yes, yeah.
It is.
What
I guess we have to send the location, but you're showing it now.
ADISRA? You can see it here, right?
Okay. Will also send the location out in an email follow-up. But thank you, Leandro. Go ahead.
I'm just seeing another screen to the Linux machine. It's there. Loading, yeah. So now you can see the new screen that was created using a mobile application, for example, to get some info from a machine. This is interesting, the application, because actually we embedded the HTML files to access the screens, but an alternative for mobile devices. Okay, sharing and the cell phone. Hmm, right. Okay. Share it again. Right. Another thing that is interesting to talk about is the templates, right? So I'm gonna show you. This demo comes with our installer, so you have the screen there. For example, I have these templates, the silo. As you can see, the object tags, how you configure like the tags that you want to feed the object, uh, and other parameters. Here, document templates. If you click it here, you can see how to add the templates. So we have object tags, we have on tag change script that when the tag that feeds the pointer, it runs the script. And also, for example, I have a button here that opens another screen that is the property for this template. Here, here, okay, is this screen. Also, we are using pointers, that is hashtag, instead of using at sign. So with this, you can create like generic screens for the generic objects. So I have a generic object with a generic property screen. So you can insert multiple uh, templates on the screen. And as you can see, let's the remote viewer on the Linux machine. I'm gonna show you this screen, for example, the silo. As you can see, we have 4 different silos with the same object. And if you click here, you open one screen with one information. There's the information from the other silo, and so on. So this is interesting to be used because it saves a lot of time when you develop, and then also you can export the template from another application if you want. You can just right click and export. And so you create a file that can be imported from another application as well, right? So basically, these are the topics that I'd like to talk today. And now I'm open to answer questions, right?
Are there any questions that you have? We have a few minutes for questions. If not, I will present some slides on where some resources are and we'll go. Oh, we do have some questions. I'm sorry. Here we go. Sorry. Do I have to export one template at a time, or is there a more efficient way to export if you want to reuse a template?
Yeah, you can export one at a time, or you can export all of them. You cannot like choose few to export, just all of them or each one at a time. Okay?
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Mhm.
Okay, if there's nothing else, let me just share some closing slides and we will let you go on your way. We appreciate you taking the time and let me just give you some resources. Some of you may already know about these resources, but it's nice to be reminded of where they're located. And for some reason, I'm having difficulty with the share. So here we go.
Let's stop sharing. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Here we go. Um, Excellent. So, as you know, we are always sharing we want to make sure that you know where you can get help. You can visit our knowledge base and frequently asked questions section anytime for quick answers and helpful guides. If you need direct support, our chat is available on our website Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to really about 6 p.m., even longer. And so please check it out if you need immediate chat kind of support. You can also email us at support@adirsra.com for technical questions, or info@adirsra.com for licensing, marketing, sales, any other questions you might have. If you do prefer to talk to someone, you can always call, or I know there's a lot of people overseas, so the 512-993-2949 is available as well. And we do training. So if you need training, both whether it's online, virtual, on a specific topic, we are always available to set up training for you, both web-based, and if it needs to be in person, we will do that as well. Also, we're constantly trying to update these with examples. So we have on our website example applications, example features, guides, uh, templates. We also are adding the video library as we go along. So please use those areas for resources. And if you have any kind of, you know, suggestions of examples you would like, or templates or anything, please let us know. We're more than happy to create that information for you. And at ADISRA, we're always sharing new insights every week through our blog. You'll find articles on industrial trends, expert tips, real-world applications of technology like HMI SCADA, IIoT, predictive maintenance, OEE, and so much more. And we would love your input. If there's a topic you'd like us to explore in an upcoming post, please send your ideas to info@adirsra.com. We really value hearing from all of you all the time. And uh, and if you don't, forget to follow us. I mean, if you aren't following us already, please follow us on LinkedIn to stay up to date with the latest blogs, webinars, product news, as well as we do have a newsletter. If you're interested, sign up. It comes out quarterly. Last, I really do want to thank all of you for joining us today. We really appreciate your time and participation. We'll be announcing details soon about our next webinar coming at the end of November, so keep an eye out for in your inbox for more information. Once again, if you have any questions or something we did not cover that you thought we should, please send that to either info@adirsra.com or support@adirsra.com. Your feedback helps us make each webinar more valuable and relevant. So when you get the survey, if you wouldn't mind filling it out, we would appreciate it. So thanks again for spending part of your day with us, and we will look forward to seeing you at the next webinar. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.